In accordance with sections 155.048, 155.085, 155.089, and 155.105 of the Franklin County Code of Ordinances, 34 Investments, Artie and Bert Van Houten, is requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow the operation of a short-term rental at 243 Big Eddy Road. The property is more specifically described as PVA map number 063-0000024.00.
Good evening, Mr. Chair and members of the board. The subject property is located on Big Eddy Beach Road, private route 1101. It is a private road according to our GIS data. The property is approximately 1.025 acres and is adjacent to the Kentucky River. It contains a 1,598 square foot dwelling with 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. Adjoining and nearby land uses are primarily single-family dwellings. Staff is aware of one other short-term rental approved on Big Eddy Road, which is approximately 1,347 feet as the crow flies. However, the structure was condemned during the April 2025 flood disaster and was considered no longer operational, but that has been rectified and they do have their certificate of occupancy. So the property owner did do extensive flood repairs and renovations, and I did provide you a copy of the certificate of occupancy in your packet. Safety inspection was performed of the property, and they did pass that safety inspection. Staff did find all positive findings and is recommending approval on this application. We do have some additional findings. In addition, staff also finds that the proposed conditional use will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity nor cause a hazard or a nuisance to the public. The 3-bedroom dwelling is large enough to accommodate the allowable number of users, which is 10, and adequate parking is available. All necessary public services and facilities are or will be available. The proposed conditional use should not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, provided that the applicant properly notifies guests of the property's location within the special flood hazard area and posts an emergency evacuation plan and route in case of flood as specified in the staff's recommended additions. Based on the findings within this report, staff does recommend approval of the applicant's request for a conditional use permit to allow a short-term rental at property located at 243 Big Eddy Road, Big Eddy Beach Road, with conditions. I would like to submit my staff report into the record and open for any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Do we have any questions for our staff? Don't see any. We'll let you sit down if the applicant would like to come up. Do you have anything to add?
Good evening, board. Mr. Chairman, my name is Brian Hicks with McNamara & Jones here on behalf of the applicant 43 Investments, or 34 Investments. And we agree with staff's report and accept all their findings and conditions.
All right. We have any questions for Mr. Hicks? Not seeing, we'll let you sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anyone in the audience who would like to speak on behalf of this application? Don't see any? All right, we'll go ahead and have discussion or have a vote. Someone would like to make a motion?
Sure, I'd be glad to. I move that we approve the this item on the agenda. This course is in accordance with sections 155.048, 155.085, 155.89, and 155.105 of Franklin County Code of Ordinances for the 34 investments who's requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow operation of short-term rental at 243 Big Eddy Beach Road. And, excuse me, with all positive findings in the staff report. And, yeah, that's what I plan to do. We have, it looks like, there are 17 conditions with that.
Excuse me.
And we've all
Give him
been,
the conditions from the new packet, if you don't mind.
oh, thank you
Yeah, here's the new.
thank you. Yep, I got my
Sorry.
papers mixed up there. Thank you so much. So with, strike that, rather, 13 conditions placed on that and agreed upon by the applicant. Number one, the conditional use is only permitted at 243 Big Eddy Beach Road. Number two, the conditional use is granted only 234 investments, Artie and Bert Van Houten, to allow the use of the property for a short-term rental. Number three, the conditional use is not transferable, and any change in ownership will make this approval null and void. Number four, the short-term rental is registered with the county annually and a business license obtained. Number five, the residents must have working smoke alarms that are not more than 10 years old from the date of manufacture. Number six, the residents must have working carbon monoxide alarms that are not more than 10 years old from date of manufacture if the residence has gas utilities of any kind. And number seven, occupancy of the short-term rental shall be limited to no more than 10 individuals. Number eight, if the operation ceased, then notice shall be provided to County Planning and Building Codes Office for their records. Number nine, all conditions of 155.089 noted special conditions, 27 short-term rentals shall be satisfied. Number 10, the applicant shall post the following statement on the premises as well as disclose in all advertisements, rental listings, quote, "This property is located within the special flood hazard area which has a 1% annual chance of being inundated by floodwaters," end of quote. Number 11, the applicant shall provide and post an emergency evacuation plan and route in case of a flood. And number 12, the short-term rental shall be operated in accordance with the submitted application materials, including the submitted operations and management narrative. And finally, number 13, if the conditional use permit has not been exercised within 1 year of the board's action, it shall be null and void. And with that, that's my motion.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Would you please call the roll?
Ms. Skidmore? Yes. Mr. Richardson?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Holder?
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Good luck to you all. I'll let you call the next order when you're ready.
In accordance with sections 155.048, 155.085, 155.089, and 155.105 of the Franklin County Code of Ordinances, Rashid Syed and Sharu Chopra is requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow the operation of a short-term rental at 5134 Peaks Mill Road. The property is more specifically described as PVA map number 082-00-000-011.06.
Yes, the subject property is located on Peaks Mill Road, which is Kentucky State Route 1900. The property is approximately 9.54 acres. It contains a 4,335 square foot dwelling with 3 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. The applicant is planning to add additional 3 bedrooms and a half bathroom. Adjoining and nearby land uses are primarily single-family dwellings. Staff is aware of 2 other short-term rentals operating on Peaks Mill Road, approximately 2.2 and 2.8 miles from the subject property. Staff did find all positive findings. We do have additional findings. One, in addition to the findings contained in this report. Staff also finds the proposed conditional use will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, nor cause a hazard or a nuisance to the public. The three-bedroom dwelling is large enough to accommodate the allowable number of users of 10, and adequate parking is available. All necessary public services and facilities are or will be available. The proposed conditional use should not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare, provided that the applicant properly notifies guests. Sorry, I might have to scratch that one. Give me 1 second. So I will end it at, let me just read that again, I'm sorry. The proposed conditional use should not adversely affect the public health, safety, or welfare. And that's where I will end that, because they are not located in a special flood hazard area. Sorry about that. So I'll make that correction in my report for the record. Based on the findings within this report, staff does recommend approval of the applicant's request for a conditional use permit to allow short-term rental at the property located at 5134 Peaks Mill Road with conditions. And would like to submit my report to the record, and if you have any questions, I would like to answer them for you.
Any questions for our staff? All right, Tina, we'll let you sit.
Tina, can I ask a
Yes,
question?
absolutely.
Yes,
I
sir.
noted that there appears to be a memorandum that there has not been a final inspection of the preliminary septic system since 2018.
That's probably correct, and that's something we could rectify with the health department.
Because it says it was
yeah.
it was approved with regard preliminarily for 3 bedrooms, and now you're talking about 6.
Mhm.
So has there been any update or anything done to your knowledge about the septic system?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge, yes, thank you. That is true.
If they
Yes.
add additional bedrooms, won't they have to come back and get
Yes, that,
approval?
absolutely. And that would be something we could also look at for the septic as well, for a condition of approval of that application, if the board so chooses tonight to.
There's adequate parking on the property?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Question for you.
Yes.
On number 9 is for recommendations. It says the septic system shall be inspected in accordance with requirements of the health department, et cetera. Would Mr. Logan or you be more comfortable with us calling out specifically before any further construction or occupancy, it has to have an approval?
So if you keep reading that, it says prior to the commencement of operation. So that means they couldn't operate
Okay, yeah.
any at all until they get that from the health department. So that is a condition, yes. So it doesn't matter if it's the 10 or the 16 that they're,
Right.
they would still need to get that approval.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you aware of, or you may not have information on this right now, but the other 2 short-term rentals within the 2.2 and 2.8 miles from the property, how many people do they accommodate?
I would totally have to go back into my files because it's probably been a while.
Seems like that's a lot of short-term rentals in a very short distance.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a huge uptick in short-term rentals this year, and we are starting to notice, but we still don't find that there's a high concentration or a high density of them just yet to cause a, alarm. So the 2.2, 2.8 miles is still pretty far away to say it's not a high concentration of them in one specific area or neighborhood. But we like to point it out, and we also point out that we don't have any regulations against density yet. Yeah, it's probably still a little ways away for something like that for the
Well-
county-wide. City, they do have a cap.
I
Yeah.
mean, you're correct, there's nothing specific, but I think that you do have the essential character of the neighborhood requirement. And it seems to me that
So what's the radius are you talking about when you ask that question?
Well-
Like, what do you know,
I'm just asking you if you know how many of those others accommodate in that general area, because there's gonna be 3 of them that are pretty close together. And so I don't know, you found that it doesn't alter the essential character, and I don't disagree with you. I just think that's something you have to consider, especially since they're so close together.
okay.
To me,
no,
that's
duly
close together.
noted. Yes, duly noted for the next one.
But I mean,
Yep.
I'd be happy to know what the other members think about that. But we can talk about it.
If we want to have a discussion,
But-
well, let's save it for,
So,
Let's do
can you
this
get
one
up again?
before we have a general
yeah,
discussion.
agreed.
Let's get more wishes that to be a condition on this.
Yeah, agreed. We can talk when we get to.
I don't know what the condition would be, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't either, but
So I'm just bringing that up and wondering if she can enlighten us more, but, I understand.
I think
Yeah.
if the other 2 also hold 16 people, it's one thing, or if they hold 4, it's another. So I think you're right about how dense it's going to be.
Yeah, but we also do not have a regulation against it, and I do want to point that out,
Right.
because we haven't felt the need for it yet, but we
Well,
have an
that's-
uptick of short-term rentals.
Exactly, but
This
that's why
year,
I would point to the essential character of the general vicinity.
Again, I would say, what's the general vicinity? How many miles? Is it a
It's
neighborhood?
residential
Is
area,
it 5
residential.
miles? Is it 10? I don't know, because I don't have a guide to go off of, so I don't know what that general vicinity, to me, it's the neighborhood, in that specific neighborhood, not 2-3 miles away, because we don't have that radius in the regulation for me to go by.
Sure.
So I just look at the neighborhood. Yeah.
All right. If it, any more questions?
Not.
Well, let's
Thank
you sit
you.
down, we'll let the applicant come up, and we might have some questions for you. If you would give us your name and address for the record, please.
Sure. Erin Wagerson, I'm at 4716 Sunny Hill Drive, Crestwood, Kentucky. I'm here to represent Rashid and his wife
Okay, all right.
on the
Thank you.
short-term rental of Peaks Mill.
I think one of the questions that was brought up was, you've got a piece of property that has, the septic system it's not been fully approved, and then we're talking about an additional, bedrooms being installed with permits and such. Can you give us any idea about, the septic system situation on the house? Is it gonna be upgraded, et cetera?
We've already had actually a neighbor came down. He installs septic systems, and so he's already looked at the property and quoted what it's going to be to upgrade that septic system. I'm actually really surprised they were able to list it if it's not approved. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The system is being upgraded regardless.
Right.
So that's already in the works of making it a bigger septic, and then it's going to have to be approved
Right.
because there will be another tank placed in.
Okay. Any other questions?
And he's talking, and just so you know, because of where the lateral lines are, in case anyone else is familiar with the property, he's talking about using a different system. I believe it's a drip system or something where everything will actually be like treated via a light and different material, I really don't know the system that well, but it's a much better system. So that way, any of the water because it's a tight area, and so adding more lateral lines gets difficult. So by adding this other system where the water is actually allowed to be in the ground because it's treated before it ever actually reaches the yard is what he's talking about doing in that particular instance.
As long as it's approved by the health department,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Any other questions for me?
There are 15 conditions placed on this application. Are you in agreement with those?
Yeah, he got all of this, so he was in agreement with that.
Okay, great.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
This is a little unusual in that it's one side, he's asking for approval of up to 6 bedrooms, and they're not constructed. So you're asking for approval of up to 16 people in this house before any construction done. Is there a contract for the construction to upgrade the bedrooms and bathrooms?
Yeah, he's already had multiple contractors out there. The only reason he asked for it that way is a different county. What they do is they accept it based on the current condition, and then with the approval that someone goes out and inspects it, it's predetermined that it could be. So it was just a,
So he wouldn't
So,
care if we limited it to
no.
the existing bedroom?
he does
and then
not
would
mind.
come back if he
Yeah,
wanted
he's
to.
aware. I've been to these. I've seen you guys. So yeah, he kind of knows. I've walked him through how all of this goes, and he's for sure. He understands that that's the typical way how this county does theirs. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Any other questions? Don't have any. We'll let you sit
Okay.
down. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on behalf of this? All right. Go ahead, yeah.
I didn't get sworn in, I wasn't planning on talking, so.
That's all right. We'll let you come up. I'll swear you in. You'd raise your right hand, please.
I'll do it.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I will, thank you, sir. I guess my question maybe to this young lady back here.
Before you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just give us your name and address for the
Yes, sir.
record, please.
Yeah, my name is John Sutphin. I live at 735 Winter Haven Lane here in Frankfort. My wife owns a property that adjoins this property that this young lady is here representing. So I don't own it, she does, I just get to play on it. And so you mentioned that they're looking at adding 3 bedrooms. Is this going to be as a part of the house itself, or is this going to be an additional structure that they're going to be doing?
There is a unfinished attic space with a window that will be finished out, and then there's already a bedroom in the basement, but there's no window, so and it has a bed and a closet in it.
Okay.
So they're adding an egress, and then there's another room upstairs that they're just putting a closet in it. So
Okay.
those are gonna be the 3 additions, so they're already there, and one is already sleeping someone, they just aren't comfortable having a guest in a room with no egress.
Okay. Do you know where the new septic system is going to lay?
It's going out front, but they're
It'll be in front of
changing
the
it
house, okay.
into, because the current one is already there, to add another tank and more laterals, it's gonna be really tight, and with
Yeah.
limestone being out there, so they're changing it to this other system where, like I said, all the water is like pre-treated, and so that way it
Okay.
can actually be on the ground, I don't know. But the gentleman who lives down the road, he came and walked it and talked about what the system could be that would actually fit
Do you
there.
mind me asking who that is?
I don't remember his name. He
Okay.
hunts the land and
Okay,
I don't know.
okay. Not a problem.
I
Okay.
would assume if he's gonna install it, he's a certified installer with the state, and go through the approvals.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, and I guess the protection for everybody involved, because I had an issue with that in my neighborhood, is the health department will, if everything is met, the health department will approve it, and if we have someone who's not certified, et cetera, and doesn't do it according to the standards, they won't approve it. So,
Yeah.
that's what will protect everyone.
Yeah, that's great. I appreciate it. I just didn't know if they were building an additional structure.
Right, right.
That's what I was just trying to find out. And then also where the septic, how it was gonna flow off the
Right,
property.
right.
So.
Okay, good question. Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be enclosed in the same footprint, et cetera, so. All right, are there any other questions? I'm not hearing any. I do have a question of Mr. Logan. From your discussion with the applicant's representative, are you saying that you would feel more comfortable if we just approve the existing number of bedrooms before it's finished, et cetera?
Yes, and then have them come back in after it's completed, after an inspection's done, after we know what is actually there and where it is, and then grant an additional, conditional use, permit amendment to allow
The additional
trees.
people?
But right now, all we have is a building that only has enough bedrooms for less than 16 people.
Right. So what's the number of people that you would rather cap it at for now?
It's
Right
4
now, there's
bedrooms.
3 bedrooms, that would be 6 plus 4, so that'd be 10.
10, okay.
3 bedrooms.
All right. Let's see, is that in our conditions? I don't see it. Just want to make sure it's in our
It's in
conditions.
number 8.
Is it 8?
Oh, yeah, number 8, thank you. It's there. Thanks for finding it. All right. Well, let's have a little discussion if you want, just very briefly. You were talking about the affecting the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Well-
familiar you are with Peaks Mill and kind of the highway and how
No,
things are sort of
not
spread
at all.
out?
Oh, well, just generally,
Right.
nothing special, but this is a rural residential area, and it
Right.
seems like we're proliferation of Airbnbs
Right.
there, when I would imagine that there's a need for
Yeah,
housing in this county, and
there,
I don't
there
know that
absolutely
we should be approving so many Airbnbs that are so close together,
is. Right.
unless there's a real need for it. But I know the regulations say what they say.
Right. Well,
But-
just for discussion's sake, I would say that this property is 10 acres, which is pretty big. And then I think this is an area that these homes are kind of spread out, but then there are other areas out Peaks Mill where there's more like RB zoning neighborhood, much more dense. And I think in those situations, you have a valid point. But a lot of these, I think this property, it looks like from what I saw, you know, individual properties spread out by a lot of acreage. And I've driven out there a bunch and worked out there a bunch, and almost 3 miles between the other existing ones, 2.7 miles, that's a lot of space.
Sure.
But your point's valid if we were talking about the more dense neighborhoods in that area, in my opinion.
Really, I just think it's something that is worth discussing before we approve these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's-
Yeah. Just real quick to follow up on that, does staff feel that this is in a dense area?
I do not feel that way.
Okay, I don't either, just because I'm very familiar with that area.
Thank you for your,
Well, yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm not, other than just
Yeah.
driving out there.
Yeah, I've worked out there for years and years, and, yeah, I know what you mean, though. And at some point, I think in the community, there may be enough that people will go back to the fiscal court and go, hey, let's talk about this again, we're starting to get a little loaded up, but I don't think we're there yet. Maybe I'm just on the soapbox, but, all right, any other discussion? All right, if not, we'll let someone make a finding, make a motion for approval, if you choose to do that. Anyone? Want me to do it?
Sure,
You're gonna do
I'll do it.
it? All right, good.
In accordance with section 155-048, 155-085, and 155-105 of the Franklin County Code of Ordinances, Rashid Saeed and Shara Kabra is requesting approval of a conditional use permit. I recommend, Mr. Chair, that we approve this request to allow the operation of a short-term rental at 5134 Peaks Mill Road. We are considering the findings by the staff, which are all positive findings, and with consideration to the staff recommendations in the back. Those are 15 in number, and I'll read those recommendations. Number one, the conditional use is only permitted at 5134 Peaks Mill Road. The conditional use is granted only to Rashid Saeed Ali and Sharu Shabra to allow the use of the property for a short-term rental. The conditional use is not transferable, and any change in ownership will make this approval null and void. The short-term rental is registered with the county annually and a business license obtained. A safety inspection of the premises shall be performed before the issuance of the conditional use permit and commencing of operations. The residents must have working smoke alarms that are not more than 10 years old from date of manufacture. And the residents must have working carbon monoxide alarms that are not more than 10 years old from the date of manufacture, if the residence has gas utilities of any kind. Occupancy of the short-term rental shall be limited to no more than 10 individuals. The septic system shall be inspected in accordance with the requirements of the Franklin County Health Department prior to commencement of the use. If the operations cease, then notice shall be provided to the County Planning and Building Codes Office for their records. All conditions of 155.089 noted special conditions 27, short-term rentals shall be satisfied. Applicant shall read the short-term rental registration affidavit, A through K, and attest that they have read, understood, and agree to the requirements of short-term rentals. The short-term rental shall be operated in accordance with the submitted application, materials, included the submitted operations and management narrative. If the conditional use permit has not been exercised within 1 year of the board's action, it shall be null and void, and any renovations and/or conditions shall be constructed in accordance with a building permit.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second?
Motion, and we have a second. If you would please call the roll.
Ms. Skidmore,
Yes.
Mr. Richardson,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Mr. Holder,
Yes.
Mr. Buchanan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right. We have your approval. Thank you. There doesn't look to be any other items on the agenda. Do we have a motion for adjournment? Couldn't think of the word.
So moved.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
We've got a brain ball.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I wonder what they're thinking for the law, short-term rentals.